Hey guys, J0 here. I was out this morning getting my morning stuff done, and I was thinking about a conversation that I had with a good friend last night on Skype. I've been introduced to Skype, and I didn't even know any of that kind of stuff existed. It was pretty cool. But I was talking with a good friend, and she asked me a question that got me thinking that maybe I need to clarify. Maybe I need to clarify some things. So I want to get in a little more detail about why my preps before my wife got sick, a little bit what we how we prepped and how it's helped me out through this time. She said, and this was AJ Prepper. She's a super smart lady. You should really check her channel out. She's awesome. She's got good ideas, she's got the good thoughts, and she preps for the exact right reason, because she preps because she loves. As Miami Prepper 1 always puts it, I prep because I love. She loves her family, and she wants to make sure that they're going to be good. So check her out. She's pretty hot too. Sorry, James. So anyway, she said, I was watching your videos, looking around in the background. I see that you've got a pretty nice place, and you've got pretty nice stuff, and and it doesn't look like you're in that bad of a situation. And it's true. Before my wife got sick 6 years ago, we was in a good position. She was working. I was doing my thing. When we came across this place, this is nothing fancy. It's a double wide trailer that we've added some walls here, took some walls there, painted wallpaper, stuff like that. But we did all of this, because we had money. I had a nice big chunk of money for some things. She had a nice big chunk of money that she had gotten from her family. And we had put ourselves into a position where we didn't have to pay mortgage. This was ours. We had it worked out to where it was ours, and it was done. We bought and paid for the cars and the trucks and the motorcycles and stuff like that. We didn't owe anybody anything, which is exactly the way that we wanted it. If you're in debt, you need to try to get out of debt, because that's going to always be hanging over your head. And if somebody gets sick, that debt's going to come back to haunt you. And we knew that in advance. So we paid for everything. Whenever we, if we did something and I went out and I was doing whatever and I got a nice big chunk of money, then I would buy, another motorcycle. Just buy it, or whatever, a truck, something. So when she got sick, we had our big family van, because we're 6 of us, so we got a big family. I had 2 trucks, 3 motorcycles, and she had a little car that she used to putt around town in and go back and forth to work. So we had a lot of stuff. We had bought our refrigerator and our stove and the kids' trampoline and the swimming pool, and built a deck onto the back porch. We did all this stuff to make our home more pleasant to be around, and we painted and wallpapered and did the kids' rooms and all that kind of stuff. Well, then she gets sick, 6 years ago. Shit hit the fan. And we had enough resources available to us that we could last about, I think I went probably about a year and a half before it really started pinching hard. And I wasn't always like I am now. I wasn't always happy-go-lucky about it. I mean, it was really, really hard on me. Probably the first 2.5 years, I was not pleasant at all to be around. I was not happy-go-lucky. I was pissed off all the time. I was frustrated and bummed out and depressed because I missed my wife, even though she was sitting right here next to me. I couldn't talk to her. Married to the woman of my dreams, and I can't even tell her that I'm having a bad day, because she wouldn't understand. It really sucks. I was really stressed out. There was a lot on my shoulders, and there still is. But my kids were being stressed out too. And I woke up one morning and I was just angry and mad, and I got my kids up, and I wasn't real friendly to be around. And my kids were asking, "Can I go to school early?" Just to get away from me. And I was like, man, this is bullshit. My kids still need to have a childhood. They still need to look back on their good old days. They need to be, when they get my age, they'll be like, "Oh, you remember back in the good old days when this. I didn't want them to say, "Hey, remember back when we were kids and Dad was always an asshole because he was pissed off?" Nah, I didn't want that. So I told myself, you have got to bear it all to keep it away from your kids. You have got to, it's sunk on me that what I have is what I have. There's never going to be any more coming in. Once it dawned on me, and it took a while to dawn on me, because I got a pretty thick skull. I'm not all that smart. It took a couple of years to dawn on me that there wasn't going to be like it was before, where I could go out and do things and get money and buy trucks and buy motorcycles and rebuild this and do that. And I told myself, what I have is what I have. So I have to keep everything clean and maintained. Every couple of months, that refrigerator comes away from the wall, and it gets completely cleaned inside and out, upside and out, the filters, everything. Because if that refrigerator breaks, I don't have any way to get another one, and I'm screwed. Same thing with my freezers. Same thing with the stove. Same thing with my tools. You know, anything that's got an edge on it, whether it's a shovel, an axe, a knife, every couple of weeks it gets sharpened and it gets maintained and cleaned. Because if it breaks, just like I used to have a drawing knife. I want to make a video to show you guys how I cut boards out of trees. You know, people have asked me, you know, how do you take a round tree and cut square boards out of it? Well, I'd like to show you, but I can't because my drawing knife, which is a two-handled knife that you pull to smooth out wood, it broke on me. It broke, the blade broke, not handles. If the handle broke, I could make another handle, but the blade broke on me because it was old and wore out, and it just, things give out sometimes. But it broke, and now I don't have another one, and I don't have any way to get another one. So, anywho, I'm getting off the point, but what I'm saying is all the stuff that you have, and the way that I made it, you know, now I have one van left. I had to sell everything that I have. I've sold, you know, all the trucks, all the motorcycles. That's how I've been making it. That's how I've been getting by. I take care of my stuff. I keep everything cleaned and oiled. You know, my chainsaws, my axes. You got to maintain it because if it breaks, and if we're in a if we're in a big SHTF or a big, you know, WROL situation, and you break your shovel, you can't just run down to Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot and get another shovel. It's not going to happen. So you have to learn how to maintain what you have and to make it last, which is exactly what I'm doing and what I've done. So I wanted to get into a little bit of detail and tell everybody, you know, yeah, it may look like we're doing good, and I may look like I'm happy-go-lucky all the time, but I do that for my family's benefit and for my friends' benefits, because nobody wants to be around somebody who's a crabby asshole all the time because they're under a lot of pressure. The time is going to come where you're going to have to learn how to deal with it. You're going to have to just say, you know what, it is what it is. And sometimes, you know, life isn't fair. Life is not always fun, and life is not always fair. And sometimes life will come along and take a big ball of stuff and cram it right up your butthole, and there ain't nothing you can do about it but just eat it. So, you know, get ready for it, because, you know, I see people making SHTF videos, and they're looking like, you know, they're talking and they're acting like they're excited, or, you know, they're looking forward to it. Well, that's bullshit. It is not fun. It will not be fun, and it will not be a good time, and I do not want something like that to happen, because my kids, I want my kids to have a childhood. I want my kids to grow up and have a childhood. I want grandbabies at some point. Not anytime soon, but at some point I would like to have grandbabies. You know, so I don't want to say, I'm already in SHTF, and if it gets any worse, it's going to be even worse for us. So I don't want anything like that to happen, but I wanted to get in and clarify a little bit more about, you know, if when you're watching my videos, you'll notice that my refrigerator is in the background, and it's a decent refrigerator, and it's clean. It's because we maintain it. It ain't because it's new. It's because we maintain it. I insist on my children. You know, keep the lights off. If there's nobody in that room, turn that light off. You know, all my kids will be in one room watching one TV, rather than everybody in their own room watching their own TVs. You know, when they use the bathroom, you just got to go a little #1 tinkle. You ain't got to flush it. Don't flush it. That costs, you know, a few cents to flush that down just for that little bit of tinkle. No. Save and conserve. You know, save energy. You know, I keep one light on in the kitchen for if my wife has, you know, happens to get up and she needs to see to get a drink of water or something, and that's it. Most of the time we sit in the dark, which is just fine. You know, we got TVs for light, and we got the windows for light. So, you know, it's just all a matter of maintenance, maintaining your place, conserving common sense stuff. You know, if there's nobody in the room, turn the damn light off. You know, if there's nobody, you know, using the bathroom, why is the toilet running? You know, stuff like that. So, anyway, I wanted to get a little more detail. If you guys have any more questions about, you know, about me or anything like that, feel free to give me, you know, give me a PM or whatever. I don't mind. The reason that I do this is because maybe somebody right now is going through the beginning stages of their personal SHTF, and if any advice that I can give or anything that I do can help them out, well, I'm more than happy to do it, because a personal SHTF situation sucks really bad, just as bad as a great big one. You know, so if somebody needs some advice or some help with something, you know, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to feel like I'm doing my good part for the world. You know, I want to put this stuff out there so that somebody can look at me and say, you know what, this guy's in bad shape, but he's still, you know, he's still happy-go-lucky, and it's a choice that you have to make eventually. You have to say, I'm not going to be like this anymore. I got to do the right thing for my kids. I've got to do the right thing for my friends, the people that are around me. It's all a matter of manning up, bucking up, and saying, okay, it is what it is. It's not good, but this is what good Lord gave me to deal with. He told me he was going to help me through life. I trust him. And you move forward. You go to bed at night. You thank him for making it through a day. You ask him to help you to get up tomorrow and try to make it through another day. And that's all you can do. So, all right, that's it. Coffee. Nothing says cool and refreshing like a nice scalding hot cup of coffee. Again.